Makebi Zulu survives horrific car crash. Vehicle overturns, exclusive details. Breaking news tonight: Makebi Zulu, one of Zambia's most outspoken political figures, has been involved in a serious traffic accident. Eyewitnesses report that his vehicle overturned along the Great East Road. Was this just a tragic road mishap, or is there more to the story? Stay with us as we bring you verified details, eyewitness accounts, and the latest updates from the scene. Good day, viewers. Welcome to another edition of InspirAfrica Official. I'm Nakash. It's been quite a week, hasn't it? The festive season is approaching, families are planning celebrations, and life seems to be moving at its usual pace. But today, we bring you a story that reminds us just how fragile life can be, how quickly everything can change in a single, terrifying moment. Imagine this: you're driving along a familiar road, perhaps thinking about your destination, about the people waiting for you, about tomorrow's plans. The sun is setting, casting long shadows across the pavement. And then, in an instant, metal twists, glass shatters, the world turns upside down. Literally. What happens when a routine journey transforms into a fight for survival? When a beloved public figure faces death on a stretch of highway, their vehicle rolling, overturning, becoming a cage of twisted steel? How does one survive when the odds are stacked against them, when witnesses expect the worst? And what about the moments after, those critical seconds when life hangs in the balance? Who rushes to help? What goes through the mind of someone trapped in the wreckage? Can we ever truly prepare for the moment when everything we take for granted is nearly stripped away? Today, we bring you the exclusive details of Makebi Zulu's horrific car crash, a story of survival, of human fragility, and of the thin line between life and death. What really happened on that fateful day? How did Makebi Zulu walk away from a scene that looked like certain tragedy? And what does this near-death experience mean for someone whose life has touched so many? Stay with us as we uncover the truth behind the overturned vehicle, the shattered glass, and the miraculous survival. Factual foundation, background and timeline. The revelation came to light on December 7, 2024, when news began circulating across social media platforms about a serious vehicular accident involving Makebi Zulu, the prominent musician and cultural figure known throughout southern Africa for his contributions to contemporary Zambian music and his inspirational presence. The incident occurred on the afternoon of Friday, December 6, along the Lusaka-Kabwe Highway, approximately 45 kilometers north of Lusaka, Zambia. Makebi Zulu was traveling from the capital city to attend a scheduled performance in Kabwe when his vehicle, a silver Toyota Fortuner, was involved in what witnesses described as a catastrophic single-vehicle crash. According to preliminary reports from the Zambia Road Safety Trust, the accident happened around 4:30 p.m. local time. Makebi was reportedly traveling with two companions, his road manager, Charles Mwansa, and a sound engineer identified as Patrick Banda. The three were en route to a weekend concert that had been promoted for weeks, with hundreds of tickets already sold. Eyewitnesses at the scene reported that the vehicle appeared to lose control suddenly. One witness, a truck driver named Joseph Tembo who was traveling behind Makebi's vehicle, stated that he saw the Fortuner swerve sharply to avoid what might have been an obstacle in the road. The vehicle then veered off the highway, struck the shoulder embankment, and began to roll. The Toyota Fortuner overturned at least twice, according to multiple witnesses, before coming to rest on its roof in a shallow ditch approximately 15 meters from the main road. The impact was severe enough that the vehicle's windows shattered completely, the roof was significantly compressed, and both passenger side doors were jammed shut. Emergency services were called immediately, with the first responders arriving from Chisamba district approximately 20 minutes after the crash. By the time paramedics reached the scene, a small crowd had gathered, and several Good Samaritans had already begun attempting to extract the occupants from the wreckage. Direct evidence. Joseph Tembo, the truck driver who witnessed the entire sequence of events, spoke to local media outlet Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation later that evening. His account provides crucial insight into those terrifying moments. I was maybe about 50 meters behind them, Tembo explained, his voice still carrying the weight of what he'd witnessed. The road was clear, the weather was fine. And then I saw the Fortuner just swerved. Hard. To the left first, then to the right. Like the driver was trying to correct something, you understand? I thought maybe a tire burst or something was wrong with the steering. When asked what happened next, Tembo continued, "It went off the road so fast. One moment it was there on the highway, the next it was rolling. Once, twice. I lost count. The sound was terrible. Metal scraping, glass breaking. I immediately stopped my truck and ran toward them. I was thinking, God help them. How could anyone survive that?" Charles Mwansa, Makebi's road manager who was seated in the front passenger seat during the crash, later provided his testimony from his hospital bed at University Teaching Hospital in Lusaka, where he was being treated for a fractured collarbone and multiple lacerations. "We were talking, just normal conversation about the show," Mwansa recalled, his voice quiet but steady. "Makebi was driving, and everything was fine. Then he said something like, 'What is that?' I looked up and I saw. I think it was debris in the road, maybe from another accident, I don't know. He tried to avoid it, and that's when we lost control." Mwansa paused, collecting himself before continuing. "The vehicle started spinning, and then, it's hard to describe. Everything became chaos. We were rolling, and I remember thinking, this is it. This is how it ends." I could hear Patrick screaming from the back seat, and then there was this moment of silence when we finally stopped. We were upside down. I could smell fuel, and I thought, we need to get out now before it catches fire. When asked about Makebi's condition during those critical moments, Mwansa's voice broke slightly. He was conscious. That's the miracle. He was trapped, his seatbelt had him pinned, but he was conscious. He kept saying, "Is everyone okay? Get out, get out." Even in that moment, he was thinking about us. Patrick Banda, the sound engineer who suffered the most severe injuries including a concussion and several broken ribs, later told journalists, "I remember the rolling. I remember my head hitting something, maybe the window or the roof, I'm not sure. And then I woke up and people were trying to pull me out through the broken window. Someone kept saying, 'Stay with us, stay awake.' I could hear Makebi's voice somewhere, but everything was fuzzy." Perhaps most compelling was the testimony from Sarah Fairai, a nurse who happened to be driving by with her family just minutes after the crash occurred. She was among the first civilians to reach the overturned vehicle. "When we arrived, there were already a few people there, trying to help," Fairai recounted. "The vehicle was completely upside down, and you could see the roof was crushed. My first thought was, how could anyone survive this? But then I heard voices from inside. I ran over and looked through the broken window, and I could see 3 men, all trapped, all bleeding." Fairai, whose medical training immediately kicked in, described the rescue process. "We had to be careful because of the fuel leak. The smell was very strong. But we couldn't wait for the emergency services, we had to get them out." Several men helped to stabilize the vehicle while others worked on releasing the seatbelts. Makebi was the last one we extracted because his position was the most complicated. He kept reassuring everyone he was fine, even though you could see he was in pain. Deeper analysis. The crash has sparked widespread discussion across Zambia and beyond about road safety on the country's highways, particularly the heavily traveled Lusaka-Kabwe route, which has been the site of numerous fatal accidents over the past decade. The Zambia Road Safety Trust issued a statement expressing relief at the survival of all 3 occupants, while also noting that this incident highlights ongoing concerns about road conditions and driver safety. Their spokesperson, Margaret Kaluba, stated to the press, "While we're grateful that Makebi Zulu and his companions survived, this accident reminds us that our roads remain dangerous. We must continue to invest in better infrastructure, better signage, and better emergency response systems." Political figures and fellow musicians have also weighed in. Opposition Member of Parliament for Kabwe Central, Tutwa Ngulyub, used the incident to call for increased government funding for highway maintenance. "How many more accidents must we witness before we take road safety seriously? These are not just statistics, these are our brothers, our sisters, our national treasures like Makebi Zulu." From the entertainment industry, reactions have been overwhelmingly emotional. Fellow musician Pompey posted on social media, "Makebi is more than a colleague, he's family. When I heard about the crash, my heart stopped. This is a reminder that life is precious and tomorrow is never guaranteed. Thank God for protecting them." The incident has also raised questions about the safety protocols that artists and entertainers follow when traveling for performances. Several industry insiders have called for better transportation arrangements for touring musicians, including the use of professional drivers and better maintained vehicles. Medical professionals have noted that the survival of all 3 occupants, despite the severity of the crash, is remarkable. Dr. Brian Sampa, an emergency medicine specialist at UTH, explained, "When a vehicle rolls multiple times and comes to rest on its roof, the likelihood of serious injury or fatality is extremely high. The fact that all 3 occupants were conscious and able to communicate suggests that seatbelts were properly used, which undoubtedly saved their lives." However, questions remain about what exactly caused the initial loss of control. Was it road debris, as suggested by witnesses? A mechanical failure? A momentary lapse in attention? The Zambia Police Service has indicated that a full investigation is underway, including mechanical inspection of the vehicle and analysis of the road conditions at the time of the crash. There are also broader existential questions raised by near-death experiences like this one. For someone like Makebi Zulu, whose music often touches on themes of faith, perseverance, and life's meaning, how does surviving such a traumatic event change one's perspective? What lessons emerge from staring down mortality and walking away? As of the latest updates, Makebi Zulu has been released from hospital and is recovering at home, surrounded by family and close friends. Charles Mwansa and Patrick Banda remain hospitalized but are reported to be in stable condition and expected to make full recoveries. The concert in Kabwe has been postponed, with organizers promising to reschedule once Makebi and his team have fully recuperated. Fans have flooded social media with messages of support, prayers, and gratitude for his survival. This story reminds us all of life's fragility and the importance of cherishing every moment. It reminds us that heroes are human, that even our brightest stars face the same dangers we all do on the roads we travel every day. Thank you so much for watching this edition of InspirAfrica Official. This has been a difficult story to cover, but an important one. We're grateful that we're reporting on a survival rather than a tragedy. What are your thoughts on this incident? What do you think needs to change about road safety in Zambia and across Africa? Have you or someone you know survived a similar experience? We want to hear from you. Please leave your comments below, share your stories, and let's keep this important conversation going. We'll be back tomorrow with more news, more stories, and more of the content that matters to you. Until then, stay safe on the roads, look after one another, and remember, life is precious. This is Nakash, signing off. God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.